Okay, so on today's, I was gonna say Solving for X. This is Solving for X, but on today's expose, we are talking about sunspot, and not a spot that's on the actual sun, but the character. His name is Roberto Babe da Costa, and he is a mutant from Brazil. He possesses the power to absorb and channel solar power, so he can get like just as hot as the sun and get all flamey. It's almost very flame on, like Johnny Storm, but better because it's not just fire. It's like pure sunshine energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has superhuman strength, and he can fly, and he can heat and has light manipulation, concussive blast, much like Cyclops, concussive blast, and plasma emission. Yeah, he's been in a lot of different teams over the years, but yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, and out of all the characters we got, I felt like we owed it to ourselves to highlight Sunspot since we did lose Aiden Canto on January 8th of this year, 2024, who played him.
Oh, that's right. I did hear something about that.
So sadly, he did pass very young. I think he was only 41, I want to say.
Oh, no.
So yeah, very sad that we lost someone from the X family. But luckily, the legacy of Sunspot does live on in X-97 because we do get the character there. So lots of exciting stuff happening for this character soon.
Yes.
I go where I want to go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott! I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get it over!
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Shawn. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X fan myself, Kevin.
Kevin, I'm so fucking excited because I already have my feels about this movie, but I've learned so much that I've been dying to pour out and vomit all over you on this podcast.
OMG, we have lots going on too, not just with this movie, but we just had the 97 trailer pop up.
Yeah.
So we should talk about that a little bit too. Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about that. So yeah, that happened last Thursday. We had already recorded, so we weren't able to talk about it in our last episode. But yeah, we're getting X-97 March 20th.
20th. Sooner than we thought. A little bit sooner than we thought.
A little bit sooner. So just to get this out of the way real quick before we gush about the trailer. So we are set to cover Logan on March 16th. Then we'll go and do our weekly 10 episodes on X-97. So basically, we'll be stopping the movies after Logan, and we'll pick them back up with Deadpool 2, which should be around June 1st, which should be around the time X-97 ends.
Okay. And that's the end of the first season.
Yeah, that's the end of the first season. So we do Deadpool 2, Dark Phoenix, The New Mutants, and I haven't really decided yet where the X-97 comics are going to fit in. I think it depends on when they release, and I don't know, I'm thinking maybe we do 2 comics at a time, so 2 bonus episodes.
Okay. And are they coming out simultaneously with the show, or are they not coming out before?
I know the first one comes out March 27th. I'm guessing they'll probably come out one a week for 4 weeks, but I don't know for sure yet. Yeah, I know there's 4.
Okay, that's right. What was I else going to say? Oh, and by the time we finish, when we get back to the movies in June, we should be ready for Deadpool 3. That comes out in July.
Exactly.
So yeah.
I figured we'd take a little break until Deadpool 3, cover that, and then we could start on your lovely little X-Men Evolution finally.
Oh my goodness.
Halfway into the year.
This is going to be so crazy because then X-Men 97 will come out halfway through Evolution or something, season 2.
Yeah.
It's going bonkers now. I don't know how to keep up. But yeah, exactly. But let's talk about that trailer, hey?
Oh my god, the moment when fucking Gambit lights up Logan's claws,
I know.
like
That was
that's
it. Like, who
everything I
thought of
need in
that?
life.
It's
Right. Give that man or woman a
fantastic.
raise. Are
Um,
they? Give whoever that was a
yeah.
raise.
But even before, like they had the whole like TV with they had the Colossus toy. They had the picture of Jean and Cyclops that Wolverine always strokes in the memes. And on top of the TV, there was a VHS tape that says X-Men DOFP, Days of Future Past.
Oh, nice.
So those little nods right there in the beginning.
Yep. They know their fandom, unlike
Yeah,
Fox.
yeah. And the writer, the head writer on X-Men 97 has just followed me on Instagram, so I feel very happy, Bo.
Ooh.
So I'm like, and he's a super sexy man who is gay and works out like a lot, so that's helpful
Yep.
too. So so that's really cool that we have. I mean, that shot with them all their workout outfits, the basketball outfits. I'm like, that was the gay, like
Yep.
Cardi.
I've seen so many memes about
I know.
that. Like, these are my gay friends.
So it was. I mean, it's gonna be a sexy little show. I'm very excited. And we get Morph in his chameleon form, in his like regular form, and his old form. I guess when he's in public, he puts on his man body, and then when he's not,
His
he's just
man body.
yeah.
Oh wait, we need to get used to calling Morph they. 'Cause
They,
Morph
yes.
is
That's true.
non-gender
Binary.
conforming.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So very nice.
Yeah, like I like the animation. I saw a meme the other day that like very much exaggerated the original animation Scott's junk, and then they're like, "Look at
Yeah, I
they
did
took
see
away
that
his
too.
junk."
Yeah, it's funny, and I sent you one about like Rogue's butt.
Rogue. Yep.
Yeah, like
Oh. That's okay though. We can't have our characters looking too sexy. We might lose
Yeah.
control.
Right. And I mean, there's plenty of it to be in there for sure. I see it
Yeah.
already. So, but how exciting!
How exciting. It looks so good. I like the voices. There was actually something I noticed too. Magneto has, I was going to talk about it when we get there, but he's holding Professor Xavier's Last Will and Testament. That is
Yeah.
literally a cover of one of the comic books. They took a comic cover and lifted it directly for the episode.
And I gotta say, they have what's his face doing Cyclops' voice, the guy who was in Final Fantasy 15.
He sounds good.
He sounds so much like him. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, the way his dictation sounds too, like he got it down.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he would sound like Cyclops. I knew he would sound good, but I didn't think he would sound so much like the original voice actor. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be something people are going to talk about. Because, yeah, the original series, as many problems as it went through, it's still one of the biggest streamed shows on Disney Plus. So I can't imagine, like, updating it to today, like, people are going to go apeshit for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ah! And Kevin and I are going to be on a time crunch because we are going to make sure to watch these every Wednesday and record it for that Friday. So we will have 2 days to put together a full episode for you.
But at least it's not like these episodes where it's like a 2-hour plus movie. We have just the episode, so should be okay.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into today's episode?
Did you want to say anything about the Wolverine episode before we get into this one?
I will say I did like Wolverine more than came across next episode. It was just like there's a lot of stuff being said about it. I stand by my ranking I decided because there are certain things I really dislike about it. But as a movie, I think it's entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's one of the mid-tier X-Men films overall. I just wish that Silver Samurai and Viper were done differently. And that was enough for me to decide to take the ranking down.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I liked it less than you, but I still think it's the sexiest movie so far. It's so sexy, and so I can always watch that for that reason. I did want to mention that we forgot a cameo in it. Actually, two. There was when Wolverine was looking at pictures. He was like someone had files. I forget where it was in an office. There was a picture of a Storm in her X3 haircut and Professor Xavier in it.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that, and it just got lost for me at that time.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. But let's do it. Let's get into this movie. Oh my gosh. Days of Fuchsia
Oh my
Past.
God. Kevin, why did Magneto stop wearing purple?
Oh my gosh. Tell me the secret.
because
Because Days of Fuchsia Past.
I know we've said that before, but I had to make sure to reference it for any new listeners because I reference it so much in this episode.
I mean, and if you're ever going to do it, this is the time. This is the time.
Yeah.
And when we're looking at our recording screen, that's what it's called on our recording screen too. So beautiful.
Beautiful. So speaking of the Wolverine, last week we asked, did you like Viper as a mutant in the Wolverine? I was actually surprised because people did like her as much as I heard
good.
people bitch
I
about
didn't
it.
look.
37% did like her as a mutant, 63% did not. So I imagine the 63% I would guess is probably more of the X fans or the Marvel fans who know of Viper, and the 37 is probably more of like the casual fans. You know what I mean?
Based. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I look, like one of the people who voted yes, I'm gonna call her out, is my friend Jessie, who's very much like, I'm just going to watch these movies for what they are. Like, she likes Marvel, but she doesn't know the comics. So that's fine. Everybody has a valid opinion.
And they come from different places, so.
Yeah. All right. Days of Fuchsia Past. So this released May 23rd, 2014. Story by Jane Goldman, Simon Kinberg, and put this in your back pocket, Matthew Vaughn. More on that in a second. A screenplay by Simon Kinberg, directed by Bryan Singer. Before I tell you all the tea, what were your first impressions of Days of Fuchsia Past? I'm just going to add this into the beginning since we always forget.
Well, good call this time. I remember going to see this in theaters. I was very excited to see it. And I remember being just blown away by it and being so in love with it and very excited by the ending. I was like, oh, thank goodness. My heart is
Right?
full. I'm like, we're going to restart this franchise. It didn't really happen that way, but I had all these hopes. I'm like, oh my goodness, all the possibilities, And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I was really excited for this one. From the previews, it looked like it was going to be the saving grace of the X-Men films. And I was because this was the Shawn who didn't know better, Shawn who didn't know everything he knows now. I was very excited that Bryan Singer was back because I was like, oh, he's going to save X-Men. He's so great at everything he does and definitely not molesting little boys on the side. I found out through my research that we were mistaken, Kevin. We owe this movie to Matthew Vaughn. Here's the reason why. This is crazy. Matthew Vaughn wrote a fucking trilogy. He wrote a trilogy, First Class, another movie, and then Days of Fuchsia Past. And Fox was like, great, we love Days of Fuchsia Past. And Matthew Vaughn was like, what about my second movie? And they're like, great, we love Days of Fuchsia Past. Let's move forward with it. And he was like, fuck you guys, I'm leaving. That's why he wasn't involved. So then they went to Bryan Singer and were like, hey, Bryan, do you want this movie back? And Bryan was like, sure. And Bryan actually got part of the writing credits for this. But Matthew Vaughn later in an interview was like, yeah, that was pretty much what I wrote. Like, he pretty much just used my whole script.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
frustrating. Holy crapola. So, and, it does feel very much like an extension. I mean, I love this movie because it is a bridge between the two different the original trilogy and then the one that Matthew Vaughn started. But the bulk of this, especially if you don't watch the road cut, which we are covering today, is all with the past casts, So it makes sense.
Well, and one thing that's a little jarring to me looking back, and it doesn't take away from the movie, but there could have been something added, is it feels like we go from this very like happy-go-lucky world where they just found out about mutants, and then suddenly in this one there's this whole like dystopian future. Like if you think of the end of Wolverine, things aren't that bad yet, and then suddenly Sentinels have overrun everything. So I'm wondering if Matthew Vaughn's second film in the trilogy would have kind of bridged the gap a
Right.
little bit and helped us like get through this.
Yeah. And remember, at the end of First Class, we see Magneto goes to Emma and everything, and he mentions how all these people from the movie, Emma and everybody who was fighting with him, died. So it might have happened in that film.
Yeah, or maybe it wouldn't have happened at all. I wonder if that
Right.
was like one of Bryan Singer's changes.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about this next part I uncovered. Matthew Vaughn's second film, he wanted to do like a 70s Wolverine movie, but he wanted to cast Tom Hardy as like a younger Wolverine. I'm like, are you not aware of Wolverine's healing factor and the fact that we
makes
already
no sense.
Yeah, we already saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine before the 70s in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I mean, and part of Kitty even says in this movie is like, "Good thing you pretty much look the same." Like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, that's weird.
So I imagine this plan was before they planned on having Hugh Jackman appear in First Class, because that would make it even make less sense, because that was in the 60s. So why would he be Tom Hardy in the 70s?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Rachel Summers was in the early script. They took her out because it was just another character. And they ended up going with Logan going back to the past because he doesn't age, so it's less makeup. It was plus he's Wolverine, and the whole fucking franchise is based around him. So
I mean, it makes sense for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and because the show very closely the movie bases itself on the cartoon, Bishop and Cable were also considered to go back to the past. So at least Bishop made it into the movie. I'm kind of glad Cable didn't, because we get such an amazing Cable in Deadpool 2. Like, don't take away from that.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I think that's everything for now. More to come later. Are you ready to get into this?
I am so ready. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you something right now, and then we'll get to it eventually. But something happens in this movie that I think is the worst thing to happen in any Fox X-Men film. It infuriates me. It frustrates me. I'm going to rant about it. Just a fair warning.
Oh, I cannot wait, because I don't know if I know what it is. So, okay, cool.
You probably do.
All right. First of all, I have to commend that 20th Century Fox. We get the lingering X back after all these movies where we didn't, and the call to the X-Men theme. You know,
yep,
that was super. I love that. So that's a wonderful thing. Gets me right in the feels. But we start in a dystopian New York City. Oh, so sad. With a wonderful Professor Xavier narration again, but it seems darker and more sinister and oofta.
Yeah.
Yes. The fuchsia. Fuchsia, a dark and desolate world. Mutants are herded in camps with power dampeners on. Oh, just like the cartoon. Power dampener colors. In voiceover, Xavier asks if the fuchsia is truly set.
So we have our first cameo.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
And I was a little excited because I was like, oh my God, this is the first time there's like continuity between movies, but I forgot that Ink is actually in this movie. So it's not continuity. But yeah, we see the older Ink in the future and we meet the younger Ink later. But would you like to know an issue with this?
What?
Ink isn't a mutant.
What?
Yeah, Ink isn't a mutant. He thinks he's a mutant for a little while, but it turns out that the tattoo artist is the mutant who is able to like bestow powers through the tattoos. So Ink has powers, but he's not a mutant. His power is gifted to him from a mutant by accident.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool that we get to see Ink. He looks cool in film, but yeah, he's technically not a mutant. So this is the second time they've made, or third time, Juggernaut, Viper, and Ink.
Yeah. They just love throwing mutants on things.
Yeah. Moscow, the Fuchsia. Sentinels are deployed to hunt mutants. Blink, Warpath, Kitty, Iceman, Sunspot, Bishop, and Colossus prepare for battle. They fight valiantly, but the Sentinels are able to adapt to their powers. As the mutant team is cut down one by one, Kitty works on sending Bishop into the past to change everything. Too late, assholes.
Did you know in the scene before too, when they're showing the Terminator like Rebel too was, I felt like it was very much inspired by the '90s cartoon, when the '90s cartoon was inspired by Terminator. So that was kind of fun. And you know that kid that they had, that weird chubby looking kid, that's supposed to be Nate Gray.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, ugh, he doesn't look like Nate Gray to me. But I think he was
the
supposed
one
to be.
with like the M on his eye.
No, was it the M? He was the one that was like looking through the rubble. He had like the hood and like the hair sticking out.
Oh, him. Oh,
yeah,
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, real quick, let me call these out. So, newcomers to this movie, we have Peter Dinklage as Bolivar Trask. Have you ever heard people do the Game of Thrones song with Peter Dinklage's name? That's what I was referencing.
I think so, but I didn't know it was a Game of Thrones song because I never watched Game of Thrones. So, but
okay. We have Omer Sy as Bishop, Evan Peters as Quicksilver, Josh Hellman as Major, William Stryker, Fan Bingbing as Blink, Aiden Canto as Sunspot, and Boo Boo Stewart as Warpath. Boo Boo Stewart, who is in the what's it called? The Descendants on Disney Channel.
Oh my god! That's why I recognize it. It's like, why does this person look familiar to me? He was Jafar's kid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Rotten to the core.
Yeah. Rotten to the core. We finally get to see Iceman's ice bridge, like full on Iceman in this.
He's just floating along, sliding along. Love it. So beautiful.
Yeah. Iceman has such a cinematic power. I'm like, why did it? Well, it's money probably, but like, you could have totally taken advantage of this sooner. And I will say, in today's comic continuity, even Iceman's head getting cut off would not kill him. He's been through like everything. He's been shattered. His head's been chopped off. He's been like basically like evaporated, kind of like he is in this movie. And he's come back from every single one because he can pull molecules from the air and like reconstitute his body.
That is so cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, actually right now in the Astonishing Iceman comic, he it's kind of sexy. He's with an Inhuman guy who through time travel is the right age for him now. And the Inhuman guy, Romeo, has the power to like manipulate people's emotions, so he's able to help Iceman come back to him in the Antarctica where they're living because Iceman's greatly weakened. He has trouble like keeping his form together for long periods of time. So whenever he can't keep himself together anymore in the real world, he like turns into this kind of vapor, and Romeo helps him find his way back to the Arctic where he reconstitutes and holds himself together.
Wow. So is that why he's considered like an Omega level mutant because of that?
Yeah,
part of that
there's
reason?
like no way to kill him so far. He's like pretty amazing.
So even if he dries up, he just becomes like air then?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, eventually, if he doesn't take care of himself, like refreeze or reconstitute, like he would just evaporate. But so far, he's been able to overcome.
Wow. That's neat.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, 3. Do you have any other notes right now? Ah! All right. Oh, I mean, I guess we learned this now, but the Sentinels, you see how the Sentinels like how they adapt.
Yeah, they mystify.
They mystify. I'm like, oh, and it's crazy because it's totally using. I mean, in the Rogue cut, we learned that they've been experimenting on Rogue too. So it's really a combination of Mystique's DNA and Rogue's DNA that allow them to adapt so easily. Mm-hmm. They can take on the powers. They can transform themselves. They're very scary. Ooh,
yeah. And they did a good job, I think, of making the Sentinels similar to the comics, but also making them their own thing and making them even kind of scarier.
Yeah, and we see like because these are like a fuchsia version of Sentinels. When we go back to the 70s, we can see like it's more close to our traditional Sentinel design.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Scene 3. Xavier uses Cerebro to see that there are so few mutants left. He's on a jet to China. He lands at the mutant facility with Storm with the sexy hair. And Logan with the sexy hair. And Magneto. Kitty explains her power to phase a consciousness through time. Xavier explains the plan to send someone to 1973 to stop Mystique from assassinating Trask. And preventing this bleak future. It will also stop them from getting Mystique's adapting ability. Yes. So, now, is this really part of Kitty's power set, or are they just making it up for this movie?
They're making it up for this movie because without Rachel, they needed someone to be able to send a consciousness back. Because in the original comic, Rachel sends Kitty back. So
Yeah.
I remember feeling at first like, I don't like this. Like, this isn't Kitty's power. But I think they do a good job with it in the movie. Like, it makes sense that her power would evolve. And I feel like that's something practical her power would evolve into. Like, it's not out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's believable that you can. I mean, it's a stretch, but it's a believable stretch.
Yeah.
Like, things can go, and whenever time passes, you need new ways to make their powers grow, and so yeah.
Says the charmed fan.
Exactly. I mean, this is something that Phoebe would be able to do with her empathy power. It's exactly that kind of thing. But I mean, Charles, in a sense, should have been able to do it too. If
That's
he is
true.
a telepath.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of agree in not putting Rachel Summers in this because as much as I would have loved to see her, it's just another character that we don't care about in the cinematic world. So like transferring this power to Kitty, like it makes sense since we already know and love Elliot Page. So
yeah,
it works.
We established a relationship with her. It'd be weird just introduce somebody new that isn't going to do much. Like, it's somebody somebody new that's super iconic to the comics. People would be pissed if she was in it and all she did was sit there with her hands like this the entire movie.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
And I think I'm going to explain this here just to make sure everybody's okay. We may refer to Elliot Page as a she only because Elliot's playing a she in the movie. So no disrespect to Elliot as a man.
Yeah. Female presenting at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the movie.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting that like and maybe this is a hot take, but out of all the places in the world for the X-Men to be hiding, they chose Moscow and China, two of like our biggest villains right now.
I know. Gosh.
But it is what it is. I don't know why they chose those places in particular, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, the X team prepared to send Logan back because his mind heals or some shit. Xavier tells Logan to look for him in 73. He tells Logan he was very lost then and to show some patience. Nito tells Logan he will need to also find him in the past and unite him and Xavier. Bobby kisses Kara while he's thinking about Warren. Sorry, did that slip in there? Katie preps Logan for the psychic journey. Kitty warns Logan that this is their final hope. They won't be able to keep him under and run from the Sentinels.
So, yeah, we get some interesting stuff here. We get Professor X, like our Patrick Stewart Professor X, admitting his history with the Mystique. So that's kind of retconning that, but at least we get that he says it and not like acting like they never knew each other. So I love that. I love the debate here where they say they have to go a vote on who's going to do this because they have to sacrifice their lives for a future that they might not be a part of, which was kind of an interesting thing to address. But Patrick Stewart read their minds and he's like, yes, they agree. They voted yes.
Yeah. Even though he says he's not going to do that, but he did it.
Yep. And then we get like Wolverine's daddies. Wolverine's daddy's giving him advice. That's cute.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you mentioned this earlier. I forgot to jump on it. Matthew Vaughn and some of the other writers said when they wrote this, they watched like Terminator, Terminator 2, I think Back to the Future.
Yeah.
They watched a lot of like time travel stuff because they wanted to like make rules and make their time travel make sense.
Yeah. And I believe they actually talked to James Cameron about his time travel rules and logic as like, picking his brain a bit, which is cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. 5. All right. Logan wakes up next to a lava lamp and in a water bed. So we know it's the 70s. My parents had a water bed in the 90s when I was growing up.
So did my uncle and aunt.
I guess they're lingering. And as a kid, they're the most fun ever. I was like, I want a water bed. I was so jealous. But then I'm like, thinking about it now, I'm like, I would not. It's the most awful thing. But
that's what I've heard. I heard they leak. They're like hard to keep up. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're fun to jump on. It's like, it's a toy. But like to actually sleep on it, I can't imagine it being very comfortable.
No.
So, yeah, there we go. Anyway. Logan puts his pants on. No panties. He gets up from the bed. We see full butt.
We see butt.
Yes. And this was not in the script. He was actually supposed to get up and have like boxers on, but Hugh Jackman is like, no, if I was waking up in bed with a woman, I would not be wearing boxers. I mean, whatever. But then, it was really just to show off his butt because he's like, I've been working hard. I'm going to do it. But it all counts. It makes sense. This is a great option because we've been teased about his butt in other movies. This is how we get to see the full thing, and then now they start doing it all the time with Thor and all these other things now. So they're getting more adventurous. Ooh,
yeah.
But yeah, we love it.
Hugh Jackman has opened.
Yes, I'm not going to complain. It was great. Just then, the mob come in. They mad Wolby slept with the boss's daughter. Logan pops his boner claws, and easily dispatches the guards. He leaves without Gwen. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Do you think that Wolverine killed these guys the first time he lived this out? I wonder if it went differently.
Oh, that's a good point. He may have changed time right here.
Yeah.
Oh, they did not study their time rules enough because now we have a whole problem.
Right. Like, who are these people? How were they involved? Did we just seem to forget about them?
Mm-hmm. And did you notice they called him Jimmy?
Yes. He goes by Jimmy.
So I thought about that because technically that is his real name, and we don't know when he started going by Logan. He probably started in this continuity after he lost his memories.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm trying to remember if Sabretooth called him Logan in the movie or not in Origins.
I don't know. But I feel like even if he was going by Logan at that point, I feel like Sabretooth would still call him Jimmy or James because he knew him before, so it's something he grew up with. Did you notice the little X's on the belt he grabbed? Little X's. There's all these little X's on there, little hidden X's, which was fun. And he did another booby dance when they walked in.
He did. He loves the booby dance. Oh wait, it's me. I get to go. Okay. 6.
Yeah.
Cut to Bolivar Trask in a meeting with the American leaders. He's trying to convince them of the Sentinel program. Trask warns them that war is coming and they need to be ready for it. I'm only laughing because every scene with Bolivar Trask for half the movie is him trying to sell his goddamn Sentinel program.
I know. It's he's fear mongering. He's like, you guys, the mutants, they will get you. I tell you.
I like that they added that touch though. Thank you, Matthew Vaughn, because I know it was you. Because it leads believability. It's such an aggressive plan to start killing mutants. People would not jump on that right away. No,
and it's nice to be too the realistic of that. Okay, you're kind of crazy, dude. We do not approve. Which is nice. We have some cameos in this scene too.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
cameo.
Ooh, tell me about it, Janet.
Two of those old men American leaders are
Mm-hmm.
important people. We have Chris Claremont again.
I always miss him, and I know what he looks like.
Yeah, he's got a mustache on in this. He's the bald guy with the mustache, and the dark-haired guy with the glasses. That was Len Wein.
Wow, yeah, I know they both appeared in other movies, but I didn't see that they were in this movie. Interesting, because I looked up a cameo list and saw both of them on there.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
Saigon. Ooh, Saigon. Miss Saigon is a beautiful musical. A helicopter is also in the musical Miss Saigon. Anyway, I'm getting off that gig. A helicopter flies over a military compound. An effeminate colonel. An effeminate colonel. He walks in like doodly 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 doo, and he demands to be let into a medical tent. It's full of mutants, including Havoc, which I love the little wink. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I was like, Havoc looks at him like, oh, dude, like what? Cracks me up. So good. Anyway, and the colonel finds paperwork showing the mutants as captives headed to Trask Industries. In comes Commander Stryker. So these people, they just fought in the war and now they're taking them away because they're done with them. Is that what's the plan?
Basically.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And they probably used them as mutants because of the powers, because they wanted to exploit them. And now like, okay, we don't need you anymore. Let's experiment on you. Stupid.
Yep.
Evil. So in comes Commander Stryker. Young Colonel Stryker. Ooh. He's kind of a sexy striker. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a sexy striker. He can strike me.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, and I can totally see him turning into the strikers. I mean, he's got lots of years to do it, but I can totally see him turning into the strikers. But he just loses his sexy. So that's the sad part.
think he looks more like he would turn into the Danny Houston striker from Origins than he would into like Brian Cox. From X2.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Colonel confronts Stryker. He shifts into Mystique, shift into Turbo, and easily dispatches the room. The other mutants help a little. Mystique is about to kill Stryker, but Havoc stops her. Mystique, now operating alone, reassumes the Colonel facade and leads the mutants to freedom. Then she bounces. Stryker comes to and gives chase to Noaval. The plane takes off.
So besides Havoc and Ink, we get Spike and Toad in this scene.
Toad, and it's interesting because we get like kind of like a classic looking, like deformed looking Toad, and it's cool because they kind of follow the arc of him getting sexy later on.
Yeah, they do. I know it's a small thing, but I do like that Mystique plays the Colonel as very effeminate, only because I feel like it's one of two things. I feel like it's either her just having fun being like a bitch for no reason, or I feel like her power is still kind of new to her at this point. So maybe she just doesn't realize like, oh, I need to man this up a little bit if I'm going to sell it.
Well, what I loved about all the movies thus far too is whenever another actor was playing Mystique, they were acting as if it was Mystique playing them. You know, they always had a different kind of energy to them. You know, like Stryker's like throwing the kiss, you know, like, and you know, all the little things. It's great that these actors do that.
Yeah. And I think I noted this later, but I'll talk about it now. This is something I feel like this movie did better than the X-Men 90s cartoon. It gives Mystique her own voice. She's gone out on her own. She is her own boss. This is technically like her starting Freedom Force or her own Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Even though she's a woman, she calls them the Brotherhood. So like we get to see like boss level bitch Mystique. Like she's learned from Xavier. She's learned from Magneto. And now we get to see like what she does with that information.
Exactly. It's beautiful. And I loved the continuity too. I mean, throughout this movie, Mystique's leg fighting is back.
Yes.
All her crazy legs. I'm like, yes, get those legs, girl.
Get it, crazy legs.
And I loved when what was it? Havoc's like, Raven. She's like, that's not my name. That's not my name. And that was really good. And did you notice this detail when she turned into like the girl girl, whatever, or is this later? When she changed into the girl colonel. Maybe it's later.
I don't remember. I think it's later.
Because she turns into her Jennifer Lawrence self, but in like army uniform.
Oh yeah, that happens later. But yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that when it happens then.
Okay. Back at the manor, Logan sits outside. The skew is in bad shape. He enters to find a less blue Beast and a hobo Xavier. They're both taking meds to alter themselves. Beast appears human on the meds, and Xavier can walk, but it dampens his power. After Logan hits Hank, he changes into Beast. Logan tells Xavier he was sent from 50 years in the Fuschia by Xavier. Logan proves his story by telling Charles about his own life. Logan tells Xavier he needs help stopping Raven. Logan gets Beast and Xavier up to speed on the plan. Xavier laughs at the idea of involving Nito. Xavier suddenly remembers Logan and returns the sentiment to fuck off. So continuity from last movie. Fuck off.
Except it's wrong.
Yeah, it is, because he did not say fuck off.
He said, go fuck yourself.
Yep. But he was supposed to say fuck off.
He was supposed to say fuck.
Changed
it. Yeah. And I believe they filmed takes with him saying fuck off, but they used the one where he said this. So...
Oh, interesting.
Because that was the scripted line was fuck off was in the, and then Hughes just did his own ad lib and they liked it better.
Yeah.
So.
I have mixed feelings about this idea that like Xavier can take something to make himself walk. I know it's explained that it helps like stop the pain so he can walk and it takes away his power. But I don't know, it's a weird idea.
It's very much the Cure concept again.
Yeah.
And then Beast is taking it too, and it's taking away his blue. I'm like, this. I don't really like it.
I like it for Beast. I think it makes sense, but I don't know. Like having it cure the use of his back being shot doesn't gel with me. Yeah. Like it makes more sense that Xavier would go to the Savage Land and just be able to walk.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the walking is very odd. Like, how does it take away the paralysis? I mean, that your bones don't change.
I mean, I get the point that it makes, that Xavier isn't taking care of himself and wants to ignore his mutanity, but I don't know. I probably would have done it differently. I probably would have said like the voices are driving him crazy and he doesn't want his mutant power anymore. He doesn't want to help anymore. He just wants to be left alone, but I wouldn't have made him walk.
Yeah, I think this was to get him in those upcoming scenes without a wheelchair. Yeah, because I think that would have been a hindrance to a lot of the scenes. I think that's the only reason. And maybe, and I guess it is part of his arc. It is part of his arc too, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 9. Oh, so we missed the Mystique thing then. I wanted to note that she had her thing changed to Biggs. The name on her thing changed to Biggs, which we all know that was the alias she went by in the comics. So I thought that was a cool little nod.
That is a nice little nod.
Yeah.
Look at you and your details. You're so good at details.
All right. So we're away. 9. Okay. Beast tells Logan that Xavier went into a depression after losing Raven, Eric, and the use of his legs. Then the Vietnam War hit. Beast derived a serum to return use of Xavier's legs, but it numbs his power. In his room, Charles reflects on his childhood with Raven. It is enough to inspire him to help for Raven's sake. Xavier is skeptical Eric can change, but Logan tells him Fuschia Eric and Charles are the ones who sent him on the mission. Beast reveals that Nito is being held 100 floors below the Pentagon in a concrete cell. Logan tells them he knows someone who can get into anywhere. They locate this mystery person through a phone book.
A phone book? What's a phone book?
The phone book. And so, they're like, oh, this would be so much easier if you had internet. And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and like, phone books are funny to me because they were such a big part of our past. Like the white pages were residential and yellow is business. And now they're like such not a thing. Like nobody has phone books anymore.
I know, but I love the phone books. I love the phone
Yeah.
books. They were good because I've always thought of them as like my big library book. I got to like do research in them kind of like what's this?
Yeah.
What's this? Uh yeah. It's we talked about you're talking again about how we're kind of like the bridge because like the 90s were a great time because we had technology but I always stumble on these words. We had technology but we weren't dependent on it, and I like that being known both the old ways of old and the ways of now.
Yeah. Kind of like this movie. It's a transition movie, Kevin.
We are days of fuchsia past.
All right. Meanwhile, Trask trounces tirelessly into his office. He's supposed to be on a trip, but he came to the office to grab some files. Trask shifts into Mystique and enters his office. She starts going through his files. As she's doing that, the secretary receives a fax. She makes her way up to Trask's office to give it to him. Meanwhile, Mystique finds files on Eric's old team. Emma, Riptide, Angel, and Azazel have been experimented on and killed. The secretary arrives with the facts. Names have been added to the Paris meeting. Number 1, I call shenanigans on Mystique being able to copy Trask's thumb. She'd have to see it beforehand to know how to copy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in my head canon, I guess she did see it somewhere.
Like in a file or something.
Yeah.
He had his police records or something.
Yeah. There you go.
Or maybe you have to be documented when you become a government position. Maybe you have to just be documented that way. I don't know.
Yeah. I do think this whole scene though is kind of tired. Like we see Mystique do this in every movie. So it's kind of why did you bother adding it? Is it just to show us that Eric's old team is dead? By the way, how fucking blasphemous. They killed Azazel, who's Lucifer, and they killed Emma. Fuck Riptide, fuck Angel, whatever. You could kill them. But not only did they kill them, they killed them in between movies. This is like if they killed Prue in between seasons, Kevin. Can you believe this?
Can you believe? Yeah.
I've been sitting on that line for 3 movies.
waiting for the moment.
That's not all I'm sitting on. No.
A phone book.
A phone book. That's what I'm sitting on because I'm so short.
Yes. But one thing I do love about this scene, though, that is different, is the fact that she is feeling remorse and she's feeling sadness for the people that she's lost, and she has the tear. And when she morphs back into Peter Dinklage, it's still there. That's a nice touch. That's different than just her going, I learned things now. I'm invading your universe, your files.
Yeah. I think that's kind of how you can tell it's Matthew Vaughn who wrote it, or the movie in general, because there's so much more emotional stuff going on than earlier ones.
He's such an emotional writer. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever wrote this, that these characters were killed, it just shows me that they don't give a shit about the fandom, because why would you kill Azazel and Emma? If you're not going to use them for the movies, just don't use them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to bring up that it was interesting that this is from a scene or two ago, but in Xavier's bedroom, he had a photo of Raven in her human form, and he calls her Raven, not Mystique.
I'm laughing because some idiot forgot to hit record, so we're having to repeat some of the stuff we already said.
We had a really good conversation before, and so I'm just trying to recreate this amazing conversation we had. Yes.
But yeah, what we talked about is, you make a good point, because it's almost very transphobic of Charles, because he's holding on to Raven in the image that he wants to see her, and he's calling her by the name that she is not choosing for herself. So it is giving very much that idea. Good thing to point out.
And it goes back to the First Class movie, why Magneto was so attractive to her, because he was accepting her and embracing her for what she wanted to be seen. She was finally accepting the beauty in her true self, and so it's so nice. I mean, it's interesting to note that too, because Xavier's almost holding her back.
Yeah. And with that, we have officially repeated everything that we needed to repeat.
Yes, we're back on track. So everything is brand
We're
new now
back.
going forward.
Yes, we will not fake any more conversations for your enjoyment.
I gotta say, the one line when Mystique was as Trask walking through the hallway to the assistant, she's like, "Oh, what is that? I like your scarf."
Oh, yeah.
Is that a new scarf? It's nice.
Yeah, is that a new scarf?
Weird?
I was almost like, is the secretary gonna know it's not him because she complimented her scarf?
I know. I was like, oh.
Oh, thank you.
Logan, Xavier, and Hank arrive at the mystery person's home, but they see scorch marks, like track marks on the mat, which is such a great touch because of all the times somebody must have been speeding through that mat. It's
What?
Peter Maximoff! Pietro Peter, whatever you want to call him. And he has a little sister.
What?
And on top of that little sister also has an older sister. Did you catch that?
I counted this as 2 cameos.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
I think obviously the older sister is Scarlet Witch, but is the younger sister Lorna? Like, are they? Is that a nod
Polaris.
to Lorna?
Yeah. So, the three dudes go upstairs. Oh, I thought he was downstairs, but he's upstairs. Okay. They
could
go
be.
to find,
I just put upstairs, but maybe he's in the
I think
basement.
I think he's in the basement because they have the stairs that go down.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. And they go downstairs to find Quicksilver playing Pong by himself. Peter's interest is piqued at the prospect of getting to break into the Pentagon. I like this. This is so clever, though, because they walk in, and he's like, I already know who you guys are. I looked at your license plate and stuff, whatever. And he's like, let me go your wallet. It's like, oh, what's this place for gifted youngsters? That's cool. He's such a crazy cool, he's just so nonchalant. It's amazing. And what's cool about this too, because he's such a klepto, because he just steals things because he can. So the whole basement is filled with just random stuff he stole around the town.
They did a good job with him.
Yeah. Did you notice the skateboards on the wall? One was green and one was red, and talking about the 2 sons.
Oh.
So kind of like giving a clue to the 2 sons. Yeah. Just weird details. Yeah. Anyway, they jump to the Pentagon. The 3 men are taking the tour as Peter prepares his attack. He infiltrates Eric's cell by taking a guard's clothes and dressing like it. And then he puts a little plate of food, fake food, with a message that says, "Mind the glass." And and then he goes up, he's on the roof, he's like, "I'm on the roof, on the glass." And he's like, "Let me put my hands in it." And he makes it so fast that it makes him move the glass so fast that it breaks and it shatters, and Eric is freed.
Yay!
Eric's cell and frees him in a dramatic fashion. I just gave you all the details, but yes.
Yep.
Up above, Hank sets off the fire alarms and sprinklers. Peter cradles Eric's head. He's like, when you hold him head first, he's like, so you don't get whiplash. He's like, what? He's like, whiplash.
Whiplash. I love Evan Peters so much. He's so good.
He's so perfect in this movie. Oh my gosh, everything about him. And they make a speedy escape. And I love this too. He's like, because Magneto's like, they're gonna get like 20 guards coming in that door. He's like, no mind. And he's like, and then they all like fall to the floor as he speeds past. So cool, so clever,
so cool.
Yeah. Eric reveals he was in jail for killing the president, and then Christian was like, "Oh, okay, well." And then Evan Peters, every little thing he does. The elevator reaches the top floor, and Charles punches Eric. Xavier demands no killing guards arrive, but Quicksilver. I don't know what that means. Oh, sorry. Okay. I know. Okay. There's a period. Xavier demands no killing. Guards arrive, but Quicksilver flashily easily dispatches them. The small group leave the Pentagon. Ah!
And this line that Quicksilver throws out, "You control metal, huh?" My mom knew a guy who controlled metal. I was like, oh my God, this is totally
know.
Magneto's son.
I remember freaking out about that when I first saw it in the theater. I was like, yes! Yes! And then Magneto's face is like,
Yeah.
well,
What's
what
your
do you
mom's
think
name?
about that? Yeah, right.
And then I remember everybody talking about the slow motion Quicksilver scene. Like, this stole the whole movie.
It is, yes, a beautiful, epic scene. And there's so much. So, and it's cool because we get to see it from both perspectives. You see how he does everything. And it's interesting, too, that he even stopped like knives from killing people that would have killed them if he didn't move them out of the direction or get on the way, which is interesting too. So he just wanted to incapacitate the guards without killing the guards. Very, very, nice of him.
Yeah, and like, I've never been a big Quicksilver fan, and I know a lot of people hate Quicksilver in the comics. So the fact that they took this character that's always a grumpy asshole and like made him so fun, like, good for this movie.
He's definitely charming and definitely good for this movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. At the airport, the team bid adieu to Peter. Eric, Hank, Xavier, and Logan board a private jet to Paris. Paris, where we went last year, Kevin. Not
We
together. Eric is shocked that Xavier gave up his powers to walk, which makes sense. They start fighting. Eric meddles the plane and gets mad at Charles for abandoning mutants in order to hide and feel normal. Xavier leaves and Logan and Nito chat. Later, Nito and Charles make amends over chest and alcohol. Eric reveals he was trying to save JFK, not shoot him. Because he was a mutant. JFK was a mutant, Kevin. I love that addition.
Yes, right?
The two reminisce on Raven and they're worried about her. So, fuck this part because we find out Banshee's dead too randomly. Like, Banshee wasn't even on Magneto's team and he's dead too? What the fuck?
Evil.
So, is that everybody from First Class?
Except for Havoc.
Except for Havoc, yeah.
I think
And
that's
Mystique.
it. And Mystique.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck their drag.
Yeah, fuck their drag. Oh, yeah, I already said the rest of it. Okay.
Yeah. What else do I have? Oh my gosh, I forgot Wolverine totally did a frying pans who knew, right? Moment within the kitchen.
Oh,
we were in the
yeah.
frying pan and Rex like, frying pans, who knew, right? That was Wolverine.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was fun. And I love the Time in a Bottle song too. That was really great. So I had to say that. Oh, and did you catch the 0001 on Magneto's prison uniform?
No.
Which is exactly the same number he had in his plastic prison, the 0001, because he was the first.
Oh,
inmate.
fun.
Or the first and only inmate, I guess. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because they had to build a prison for him. That makes sense.
Yeah. So fun. All right.
Yeah.
But Fassbender made me cry in this scene. I mean, the acting in this movie, they're always so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
And you see where both Magneto and Xavier stand, and you get both of their sides very clearly, and you can feel for both of them. So,
Yeah,
I
and
love
like Nito makes some very good points right here. Yeah, he's like trying to be a savior for mutants, and Xavier's trying to be normal. Like, this is so relatable,
Right.
especially in a lot of these discussions today of like stars or musicians and if they should come out of the closet or not to like stand up for the LGBTQ community. Like, this is very relatable.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
I'm talking to you.
So, what do you think JFK's power was?
Oh, that's a good question. I think he would have had a power to... He would have been an empath. He would have had a power to, like, reach out to people's emotions through any means, even a TV. And that's why he was such a beloved president, because he was using his power, and maybe he didn't even realize it.
Yeah. I put charismatic charm, so I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Oh, there you go.
It's just like I'm a charmer. Infatuate you. I will make you love me. Yeah.
Great
All right.
minds.
Yes. Cool. All right. Uh, Paris, Paris party town. The Viets are celebrating their win against America. I like to be in America. The general goes to get a drink and finds Raven. They go to the general's room together. Mystique shifts and attacks the general, knocking him out. See, this is another classic Mystique kind of thing. I'm going to seduce men with my bubbly blonde charm, drug them, or do something to them. Use my whippy legs at them.
Yeah, I love the whippy legs.
I love them. I love that they're like large and in charge again in this movie, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
She's just like, pin you to the wall of my leg. As I look at this note that you have, this picture of, I slowly let you down with my leg. It's so good.
I'd be curious, like, did she have to like train to use her legs in this manner, or did she just flail them randomly and it just looks good?
I don't know. It's so good.
The next day in Paris, everyone is gathering to discuss the end of the war. Trask shows up and talks mutant menace. He pitches his Sentinel idea. This is number 2, Kevin. He's pitching it for the second time. He promises that the program is not dangerous to humans. He uses a machine to locate mutants. It goes off and points at the general. It's Mystique. She easily dispatches the room. Stryker and
With
all.
legs.
With legs. Raven is distracted by Xavier's voice, and Stryker tases her. Stryker is tased back. I didn't see who tases her back. Oh well.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Logan has a flashback and bounces. Eric prepares to shoot Mystique. Beast saves her.
Oh, I know what happens.
Hmm.
I think Mystique did it. I think she threw something at him.
Okay, that makes sense because I thought it was Mystique.
She had 2 guns that were shot at her, and she took one of them out and threw it at Stryker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beast saves her, but not before cameras catch her falling from the window and Eric curves the bullet to hit her. Mystique shifts on national TV. In the fuchsia, Logan flips and cuts Kitty. In the present, Logan's connection to the fuchsia is severed. Now he's mad and confused. Beast attacks Eric on TV to save Raven, while Xavier tries to calm Logan by convincing him he's on acid. Mystique makes her escape as Newton Thomas Sigel, a composer for the films. It's another cameo, Kevin. She shifts into Newton Thomas Sigel.
Yeah. And actually, did you know all those autopsy files too? A bunch of those ones that we didn't know, they were actually crew members.
Interesting.
The first ones. Yeah.
Fun.
I don't remember all their names, but they were, yeah.
Yeah. I remember this Magneto shooting JFK was very much a Matthew Vaughn idea. He talked about it as early as First Class coming out. He envisioned Magneto curved the bullet and shot JFK. Mm-hmm. So it's cool that it kind of made it into the movie.
And that was also part of like the legends and the rumors at the time too. Like, how did this happen? The rumors. How is this possible? So yeah. And I believe he used a similar kind of narrative in other works that he did with JFK stuff. So
I do like, because I was wondering, like, that makes Magneto, it doesn't gel with me that he would just randomly want to shoot JFK. So I like that it was changed to, like, he tried to save JFK because he was a mutant.
Yeah, it's nice. And for me, with this confused Logan, what this meant is that the Logan of the 70s kind of went back into his body. He was coming back into himself and is like not unsure what happened because all this time the future Logan was in there and he was like displaced. So
yeah, because fuchsia Logan sees Stryker and has memories which severs his connection to past Logan. So yeah, I like these time rules. Like, it definitely pays off.
Yeah. In the fuchsia, Kitty is mortally wounded. In the past, Eric frees himself and leaves. Beast is left on display for the masses. Yeah, he's like, everyone's looking at me. I gotta break free. All right, after Eric walked away enough. Kitty regains herself in the fuchsia and reestablishes the link. Logan comes to in the past. Him and Charles go to find Eric in the Oval Office. Nixon makes a naughty word.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh, he said something like, "What did he say?" Okay, he said something like, "Oh yeah," because Trask is like, "I want her for research purposes." He's like, "I don't care who you screw, as long as it isn't me." I'm like, "Oh my god,
Oh my god,
like,
Nixon.
naughty." um, the White House discussed the mutant menace. The mutant menace! Trask pops up out of nowhere and points out, "Oh, this reminded me of the
3.
Spider-Man camp." What? Oh yeah.
Oh, this is number 3 that he's pitching the Sentinel idea.
Oh yeah. The way it's true, and the way I said mutant menace reminded me of the '97 trailer again because they had the Spider-Man cameos in the newspaper on the '97 trailer. Just saying.
Nice.
Anyway, Trask pops out of nowhere for the 3rd time and points out that this is why we need Sentinels. What do you say? Yeah, he's like, yeah, I want mutants to ensure they don't eradicate humanity. Nixon seems to like the idea. With some convincing, Trask agrees to unleash his Sentinels, but he wants Mystique for research purposes. Research.
Research. Winky face.
That's why Nixon was confused. He's like, yeah, go get her. Yeah, and it totally shows you how they thought of women then too. Like, oh yeah, horrible.
Yeah, you want to fuck her? Go ahead and fuck her. I don't care what the fuck you do with her. She's just a woman.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is because what happened is Mystique jumped out of the window and Magneto's trying to kill her, which is crazy. He gets tackled by Beast, who gets the gun out of his hand, but that's not going to stop Magneto. He's like, I got metal. And he shoots the bullet anyway in the air, which is super cool. He moves the bullet downward, aiming towards Mystique, and it hits her in the leg. So that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In a hospital, Mystique gets her bullet wound treated. Meanwhile, Eric stitches himself up while looking over the plans for the Sentinels. Eric goes out into the world. Raven pushes him into a phone booth. Eric tells her he tried to kill her to save mutanity. He tells her because of him, they now have her blood and can enhance the Sentinels with it. Eric convinces Mystique to give him Trask's name. He's the target. Eric wants to kill more than just Trask, though. More people deserve to die.
So, back at the manor, Hank, Logan, and Xavier enter. Xavier's meds are wearing off, and he's having trouble walking. His power also starts to come back. Logan convinces Charles to not dose up. They need Charles's power to help find Raven. Charles goes to his study to get out ye old wheelchair. Beast, help me up. I need to go over there.
Help me up. Yeah, and this is another time where it's like it's a dramatic moment. He's getting the wheelchair back, but is it worth it to have him take something to walk? I don't know. In his lab, Trask studies Mystique's blood sample as he tells Stryker he needs more. Mostly, brain tissue, spinal fluid, bone marrow. Trask tells Stryker a new era is approaching with the Sentinels, an era of peace. And we kind of have a cameo because we get Jason mentioned again.
Yeah.
Again!
He's like, he's about 10 years old. 8 years from fighting age. And this is here too, where he's like, yeah, you must really hate mutants. He's like, on the contrary, I find them very fascinating. Which is, so it's crazy that his mind is so warped. He admires them, but he's so fearful for his own survival, for the whole survival of humanity, that he wants to eradicate them first before they have the advantage on them. Yeah. It's crazy.
This really kind of rings to me as like a jealousy thing. Like he's jealous he's not a mutant, and he hates that he's not a mutant, so he's going to eradicate all other mutants because he can't have it.
Yeah. Logan and Hank follow Charles to Cerebro. He uses it, but Cerebro is overwhelming to his out-of-practice brain. Logan urges Charles... And it's like, I was so weird about this. Like, why is everybody he's looking at in such heartache and screaming? Like, are there anybody that are at peace at all in this world? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's weird that, like, Hank and Logan can see it too. Like, has that been something in the other ones? I guess it has, because Jason saw it when he was in Cerebro.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it like projects his sights outward or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Charles throws a tantrum and goes to leave. Logan stops him with the power of love. Logan invites Charles in. Yeah, I love this though because he's like, look into my mind. He's like, I don't want to see your trauma, Logan. It's like, no, look deeper, look past that. Yeah, and then here it goes. Logan invites Charles into his mind. He wants to show Charles what they are fighting for. Charles wakes up in Logan's mind in the fuchsia. He studies in the grief of the room unseen by all. He comes face to face with himself because we see Patrick Stewart go, Charles, I feel you. Oh, and then old man Charles encourages young man Charles to face his fears and step up to help people. Charles comes into the past and he's ready to help. So he says a line here. He says, just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever, which is the exact same line that he will say in Multitude of Madness or Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, wow. I've never noticed that.
Yeah, exact same line comes back here or up in the future. So, yeah,
That's
pretty
cool.
remarkable.
That's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah, I was amazed at how much the Charleses look alike. Like, I could really believe that James McAvoy grows into Patrick Stewart in this moment.
Absolutely. And Magneto's too. Like the way that they look and the way that their voices are, they got their voices perfect. Their accents are down, which is crazy for somebody who's speaking and none of them are speaking in their original accent, in their native accent. Yeah.
That's acting. Mm-hmm. There's there's a show called Extras with I forget his name, but it's about extras on a show and they meet like real stars throughout the show. And one time Ian McKellen's on it and Ian McKellen made me laugh so hard because he puts on an acting school and Ian McKellen's like, you see, the secret to acting is to pretend that you're something you're not. You see, I'm not actually a wizard from Middle Earth. I was only pretending to be one. That's what you made me think of.
That's so good. So, those are the skills.
Yeah. On a train in a snowy tundra, Eric uses his power to board it and wreck the track. He uses the metal track to cover the sentinels in metal. Snicky, snicky.
Yeah, he almost he infuses their inner workings with the metal. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak.
Sneaky, sneak.
That's a snack. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, in the fuchsia, Kitty is bleeding out. Bobby's getting worried about her. Xavier stops Bobby from stopping the environment. Bobby urges them to have room. Oh, there we go. Stopping the what did I say?
Environment?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why is she stopping the environment?
I didn't understand it either. I'm like, what? What does this mean? Okay.
I love that you trust me enough that you just read my words, even if it's environment.
And did it really say environment, or did I just change it in my brain?
You changed it in your brain.
Okay, so that was me then. All right. Anyway, so Xavier stops Bobby from stopping the experiment. Bobby urges to have Rogue take Kitty's power. He's like, we're not all out of options. There's somebody else. What? Where? It's in Cerebro, Xavier, the only place they keep it. Oh, I can never get there before, but now, yes. And Kitty's power. Oh, Bobby urges them to have Rogue take Kitty's power and complete the experiment, not the environment. Bobby reveals that Rogue is being held in Cerebro, where she's being experimented. This word, experimented on. They decide to go to try to free her to save Kitty's life because Kitty's losing a lot of bloods. and
So,
dripping
in
in the
case you've
bowl.
never seen it, this is where the rogue cut begins.
This is where the
not in
road
the
cut
original film.
begins.
Yep.
And I was trying to look at differences because I know what the extended bits are, but I'm trying to imagine like what the original was without it. It's just Kitty just
Yeah.
she's like I'm cool. I just keep doing it or whatever.
Well, I remember Kitty is randomly wounded. I remember noticing that on
Yeah.
my first watch and not understanding why. Well, no. Sorry, I knew why because they did show in the original cut that Wolverine cut her. But I remember thinking, like, why? Why did they add this? Like, it's so random. Like, it's just kind of like a time bomb thing. That's it. Without Rogue being there.
And I remember the first time I saw this, I saw like Rogue more in the trailer, and I was like, wait. And then I remember I think before I saw it, I read that they cut a bunch of her stuff out. It's like that's weird.
Yeah.
And so it's nice that they gave us this option after the fact, at least.
Now, do you think the Rogue cut adds to the movie, or do you think it's just like a lot of filler?
Well, you know what? I actually like it because it shows that the people in the future are still doing something. They're still fighting while this is all happening. Otherwise, it's just all too much in the past. You know,
Yeah.
it feels like they're still working together in parallel times to get this going. So I really think it adds to it.
I think it does too.
Yeah.
Back in the past, a plane flies by overhead. Raven is in the airport when a rando old woman tells her to stop running. Xavier uses meat puppets to urge her not to kill Trask. Logan wants Xavier to shut Mystique's mind down. Xavier reveals he's too weak. Xavier appears in front of Raven at the airport. He makes one last plea, but Mystique isn't having it. She goes to continue her mission. Xavier promises to find her and stop her wherever she goes. The dudes decide to rest and to try to track Mystique in the morning.
Oh my gosh! I'm just looking at my notes. I forgot to mention the Bryan Singer cameo.
Oh yeah, he was in this one again.
Yeah, he was in the crowd filming something. And then we had the X2 Striker Visions too. We had the Brian Cox Striker Visions, which was cool.
Yep.
But this scene, Mystique. Oh wait, is this the one? No, I know it's not. Wait, is this the one? No. Never mind. This is the one where Xavier's trying to stop her from leaving the airport. He's like, "Don't kill her. Don't kill whatever." So yeah, okay, I'm good. 23. Later that night, Hank comes in to visit Logan. Besides warning Logan against the dangers of smoking, he asks if he's still alive in the Fuschia. Logan says no. No one's really alive except for a few people who are about to die anyway.
Yeah.
Logan assures him they can still change the Fuschia. Hank goes to a room where he watches the news. He sees that Trask will be at the White House tomorrow. He hears a noise and finds Raven in the front hall. She stops him from getting Charles. Instead, Beast helps patch up her leg. Beast tells Mystique he looks human unless he gets any animal urges. Oh. To kiss and get some animal urges. They feel each other up and down. I'm gonna grab her butt. Yes.
Right, that's a big old butt grab. Like, he went for it.
Yeah. As she's like transforming into blueness, they both turn blue. So she turns blue. She's like, "Oh, I'm getting my blue on her too." And Hank tells Raven she's beautiful in blue. Okay. Now, this is the exchange that I thought was super powerful because he says, Mystique's like, "Do you remember last time we spoke and you thought, I wasn't beautiful in my blue form?" And she's like, "Do you still feel that way?" So you get that was really a moment that impacted her, that stayed with her, that she thinks about a lot. Had a huge bearing on her identity and what she values. And then she's like, "Yeah, do you still feel that way?" And he says, "No, you're beautiful." But then she wants Beast to feel that he's beautiful too. Do you feel you're beautiful too? And he doesn't really admit it. He just kind of walks away.
Yeah. And this goes to show, I think it makes a big statement about how Beast was attracted to Blue Mystique, But because Blue Mystique goes against society, he pushed down that attraction in order to fit in with society. So that says a lot about what we see with queerness, with, lots of things.
He has a lot of shame associated with something that stands out as different or against the norm. And yeah, it's crazy that he's denying himself these things or trying to force himself to see beauty in what's considered the norm.
Yeah. All right. In the Fuschia, Magneto and Iceman follow Charles' instructions over the comm. This is very Jurassic Park to me when they're leading Ellie through the compound.
Oh yeah.
They bust into Cerebro. At the same time, 70s Eric forcibly breaks into a chamber holding his old team's gear. He takes his helmet back. Oh, that's so dramatic when he takes his helmet back. Get it, mama.
Yeah, and I love the parallels of both Magneto's in their times doing kind of similar paths.
Yeah, this was like brilliantly shot. It's really hard to try to write scenes when like there's such quick little scenes that
I
kind of
know,
like
it
pile
really
stuff
is.
on top of each other. But like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and inside that Magneto helmet room, there was the coin they killed Shaw with, and the Angel Wing.
Angel's Wing,
yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Nito holds the scientists at bay as Fuchsia Nito holds the scientists at bay as Bobby lets Rogue absorb enough of him to heal. Nito, Bobby, and Rogue are chased by Sentinels. Bobby sacrifices himself so Rogue and Nito can escape. They board the jet with Charles. A flaming Sentinel attacks them, but Xavier pulls some Luke Skywalker moves and ditches it. Little do they know, part of the Sentinel arm remained on the jet and followed them home.
Them home!
Followed them home! You get the animation thing, too. I love that.
Yeah, and a Sentinel will follow you home.
Put Bobby's death in your back pocket, because we're going to talk about that later. Okay? Okay?
It was... Yeah, it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot about because I only probably saw the road cut one time. But I thought for sure they were safe after they got on that ship, that plane. I'm like, oh, and then like the thing popped up. I'm like, oh my god! Like I was like on the edge of my seat, like, oh geez, Louise, these things are evil. And so I was like, yes,
yeah,
this is good.
And this makes a lot more sense because you don't see Bobby die in the original cut, and you don't see how the Sentinels find them at their lair.
Yeah.
So this kind of drives the story forward. I mean,
yeah,
we can see you don't actually need it. The Sentinels could just find them, but like, I don't know. It's more interesting this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, if without this part, Iceman would have not much to do either. He would just been at the beginning and that was it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to talk about Kitty and stuff. Charles goes back to Cerebro alone to try it again. But wait! Why is he limping? Oh, it's Mystique. Because she's got a bullet in her. She had a bullet wound. She destroys Cerebro by smashing it. She's like, hiya! I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
I like you. In the Fuchsia, the team returns with Rogue. Kitty is sad to hear Bobby died. Rogue takes her power and takes over the task of projecting Wolverine. Logan wakes up in the past. Hank barges in and admits Mystique was in the manor. He tells Logan and Xavier about his experiment to record any news on Paris. He shows them where Trask will be tomorrow. They surmise this is where Raven will strike. Hank tells them the bad dudes already have her DNA. Hank tells them the theory of time always righting itself. Xavier demands they prep the plane for Washington immediately. So, what do you think of this idea that, like, stuff that's supposed to happen is going to happen one way or another?
Like it's like the final destination kind of thing that will always come back around.
Yeah.
I feel like there are things that can be changed, but I like the concept that there are these key moments in time that are just written that, no matter, it might happen in a different format, in a different way, in a different kind of time frame, but they will always inevitably hit these points. And I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of dig it that like it's something that's ingrained in just the world as a whole.
Yeah, I've always loved the concept of destiny, and one thing that I'm really loving right now I'm a little behind, but in the Power Rangers comic books, they play with this idea that time changed because Lord Draken, who's Tommy, who never turned good after being turned bad Green Ranger, he messed up the timeline, and because the Power Rangers are doing things out of order, like stuff is happening worse. Like Dark Specter's coming in right now, but he's coming in stronger than he would have been had time gone the way it was supposed to. So it makes for a really cool story, like to see it played out differently and like similar stuff happening.
All right. On the plane, the feeling in Xavier's legs, continues to wane. Logan makes Xavier promise to bring the X-Men together in the future. They need him.
I feel like this kind of goes into what Eric Lewald said about Wolverine in the show about how like anyone who's like everybody likes Wolverine, so anyone who's friends with Wolverine is cool. And that's why they made more friends with Wolverine because the fact that Logan like cows to Xavier so much and respects Xavier so much makes Xavier even cooler in this moment.
Sure. Yeah.
In the fuchsia, Warpath senses sentinels incoming. Well, he kind of sees them, I guess, because he has enhanced vision. The X-Men prepare to fight for their lives to protect Rogue and Logan. As the sentinels approach, Storm leads the attack against them. Nito and Storm Splody the Jet, seemingly killing the sentinels. A piece of shrapnel pierces Eric's stomach. As Storm looks at him, another sentinel stabs her. Put that in your back pocket. The X-team are easily dispatched by the sentinels. Eric uses his power to create a metal shield to protect Rogue and Logan before he slowly dies. Not yet, though. He's still slowly dying.
Right. But how, like, insult to injury that you get killed by metal,
True. That's a good point. Well, actually,
Yeah.
the sentinels, I think, aren't made out of metal, though.
But I thought it was a piece of the plane that hit him.
Oh, it was. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Splody plane that got him.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Xavier and his team arrive at the summit the next day. Charles scans for Raven but can't seem to find her. President Nixon takes the stage and addresses America about the mutant threat. Charles continues to scan the crowd. Nixon unveils the Sentinels. A mad Mystique man moves to attack. Meanwhile, at an empty stadium, Magneto uses his power to pick up the entire stadium because we gotta one up the Golden Gate Bridge and do something different. So, ta-da.
I know. I kind of have mixed feelings about the stadium because it's really cool, but it doesn't feel like it's completely needed. It does just kind of feel like we want to do something even cooler.
Right.
Charles finds Raven and freezes her. He points Logan and Hank her way. Xavier begs Raven to stop. In the distance, Nito slowly approaches with the stadium. As he flies in, Nito activates the Sentinels. He has them start firing on the human crowd. As the crowd flees, Raven follows Trask into an underground bunker. Mystique draws her gun and prepares to shoot Trask. So I do like... It's explained a little more in the comics, but it's explained that Magneto called his first team the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants because he knew he had to draw a line in the sand between good and evil in order to inspire mutants to like act, whether it's with him or with Charles. So I feel like he's becoming that character right now. He knows he needs to frighten the humans to like leave them alone. And he knows in order to do that, he needs to be a villain. So I think this is very Magneto in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we know that he has that in him. And we know that Magneto isn't like a pure villain, but he knows that appearances are everything. And so what's going to be the quickest way for your cause to make a statement,
Yeah. And in the comics, he explains that like he knew if there was a villain for people to fight against, it would cause people to team up in a force of good as well. So he's very calculated. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Nito shows up to the party, but nobody wants to pay the piper. No. He shows up to the party with the stadium. He drops it around the summit, making a barrier around the White House. Hank goes into beast mode, like I do at the gym. Beast mode. Nito sicks the Sentinel on Beast and Logan. Wolverine tries to fight Nito, but it's futile. Resistance is futile. Nito laces Wolverine with metal and cement and throws him into the river. Oh, that looked like it hurt so bad. Going into his body and stuff. Oh, no. The Logan in the Fuschia begins to die.
Okay. I am going to rant about this in a little bit. I have mixed feelings about this part, but we'll get there. In the bunker, Trask's mutant alarm goes off. Mystique reveals herself. Just then, Nito pulls the bunker forcibly up through the White House and opens it. Magneto spins the cameras to focus on him and shows the world they are in the wrong for wanting to kill mutants. There is a montage of the Fuschia team being eviscerated by the Sentinels. After Eric's speech, Mystique impersonates Nixon, asking Eric to kill him and spare everyone else. A Sentinel locks onto Nito and Mystique shoots Eric, stopping him. Xavier freezes everyone and stops Raven from shooting Trask. It's interesting to me that Mystique was willing to save all the humans as long as she still gets to shoot Trask.
Right.
It shows that she's definitely like a product of both her daddies, Xavier and Nito.
Absolutely. We talked how she's learned from both of them. And in her mind, Trask is the villain. He's the cause of everything that right now that's her enemy. And so, it's a one-track mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The Sentinels of the Fuschia reach Rogue and Logan just as Raven makes the decision not to shoot Trask. Yeah, they're coming. They're breaking through. Oh, no. Somewhere in there, we see Logan dying in the river. The Fuschia erases at the last second. Mystique removes... Oh, yeah, because she chooses to put the gun down. Right?
Yeah.
So that part. So, and that one moment, that one act changed everything. And then she removes Eric's helmet. He's all yours, Charles. Make him pay. Whatever. Charles and Eric say their goodbyes and Eric leaves. Mystique limps away triumphantly.
Let's see. Logan continues to drown. He wakes up in the future. His new present. Bobby and Rogue are an item again. The school is running as normal. Beast is now an instructor. Everything seems
Kelsey
normal.
Grammer Beast.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer Beast. Logan sees Jean standing alone. He goes to her in shock at seeing her alive. Scott stops Logan from touching her. Fuck, he's alive too? Logan goes to see Charles. He seems to remember what Logan did in the past. Charles shoos Logan to go teach history. Yeah, he remembers because it all happened before time changed. So he has memories of what his time was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so and because I think part of it is his something with his telepathic power. He must have some kind of connection in a way. But it's crazy. So it's like him and Wolverine are the only ones in the entire world that know both timelines.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how much of the original timeline Xavier knows, because he knows that Logan changed it, but we don't know for sure if he remembers it.
Okay, yeah, but it's still very fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
But I remember the scene made me so happy. I was geeking out. I'm like, all the people. We had Jean look so good with her kind of long phoenixy hair, but she's not so evil-like. And she's still with Scott. And he's like, it's nice to see you, Scott. He's like, okay, whatever. Like, weirdo. No, this made me so happy. at this moment.
I remember the theater went crazy, and like I was even like, yes, like they fixed it.
Yeah, and I love like Scott's new sunglasses, his little visor
Yeah.
glasses. Like these are ooh, new style.
Well, and apparently, I don't know if it was before or after this, but Laura Schuler Donner, who holds the rights to X-Men at this point, said she had plans for X4 and 5. So I don't know if it would have jumped
Oh,
off of this change or if it would have jumped straight out of X3.
yeah. In the past, Logan is brought up from the river. He is taken onto a police boat. The police ask, Major Stryker, what are you doing on there? Get out of there, Stryker. But he's there. What they should do with Logan? And then he says, leave him to me. I'll handle Logan. But don't forget, I've got glowy yellow eyes, so it's Mystique.
So I love and hate this. I was really fascinated with it because it's a cool concept that, like, now that time has changed, maybe Logan is changed with it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is so random. Like, how long was he in the river? Because he should probably be dead because he should have drowned since he couldn't breathe. But
Yeah.
also, why would Mystique limp away, get on a boat to go save Wolverine, and
It's
then
very
what's she
odd.
gonna do with him?
Random.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No. I was like, okay. Sure.
You know, it'd be more interesting if a fan wrote this is if the eyes glowed red and maybe we see a little diamond appear on the forehead because it's Mr. Sinister.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. That's why you need to get some of these people to be fans who write this shit.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for this Logan because he just wakes up like fucked up in a river.
I
Like, what
know.
did he do?
Bad acid. Really bad acid.
Yeah. In an after credit scene, we see Trask in his cell doing nothing for reasons.
He's like super like beardy, goblin-y, whatever that is.
Yeah,
Like,
little
what is
mountain
this?
man.
Yeah. Cave person in the cell.
Yeah. In another after credit scene, we see ancient Egypt. A huge group of acolytes pray to En Sabnur as he uses his power to construct a pyramid. In the distance, there are 4 horsemen. And Kevin, if I tell you, I lost my shit. I was so
Yeah.
excited.
This does give you the excitement. And look how much better this apocalypse looked. Even.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, this definitely planted that seed for something that could have been amazing.
Yeah. And you know what? Matthew Vaughn warned Fox. He said in interviews, he warned them, if you shoot your load, he didn't say that, but if you shoot your load and do Days of Future Past, where do you go after that? Like, it's a huge story. Like, where do you go? And it's true. Like, I was even thinking that. How do you top Days of Future Past? Like, especially if you're doing Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a very layered villain, I feel. Like, he could have been multiple movies. So I do wish we got to see the Matthew Vaughn version of things.
Yeah.
So a couple things. This is based on Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142, which was written by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. In the original one, because it was written in 1980, it goes between 1980 and 2013, which is kind of funny from today's standards because this movie came out in 2014.
Yeah.
In the original story, we talked about it, but Rachel sends Kitty back to inhabit Kitty's younger self. In that one, in the comic, they have to stop Mystique's new Brotherhood from killing Robert Kelly, Moira, and Charles. So it was a threefer. So the cartoon did do it a little closer, where it is Mystique's Brotherhood trying to kill Kelly. Just in that, it was Mystique impersonating Gambit, and Bishop went back. I did not know this. This is so cool to me. So Chris Claremont didn't want to do Days of Future Past. He wasn't excited by it. But John Byrne convinced him, and even like it was kind of more like John Byrne's idea that got it rolling, and they ended up writing it together, and then John Byrne is the one who drew it. But John Byrne later said he feels like he unconsciously lifted the story from Doctor Who, Kevin.
Oh.
Apparently, there's an episode called Day of the Daleks from 1972 that has a very similar story. So I've never seen that one. That's
Wow.
the third Doctor.
Yeah.
But now I kind of want to watch it.
Wow. Fascinating. Fascinating.
All right. So tell us how you feel about this movie and then give us your rating at the same time. For Britishly Bitchin' Like Emma, Pretty Cool Like Iceman, Australian Wolverine, you kind of love it but kind of hate it, Fat and Sweaty like Jubilee, or Unspeakable like X-Men Origins Deadpool.
I really enjoy this movie. I think it's really, a great concept, and they execute it pretty well, pretty flawlessly. There's hiccups here and there, but I mean, it's still an emotional movie. It's still a nice action-packed movie. It's bringing our two worlds together in such a cool, clever way. Lots of feels. So I'm giving it Britishly Bitchin'.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you, girl.
Yeah, jumping back from the Wolverine.
Yep. I agree. Like, this is executed very well. I was actually surprised when I told one of my friends we're going to do this one soon. She's like, "Oh, that abomination of a movie." I was like, "What movie did you watch?"
I know. No,
It
it's
was
so
really
good.
And you're right. Like, there are a few things that could have been done better, like killing Azazel and Emma between movies. But it is what it is. Like, the corporation got a hold and made some decisions I don't like. But even with the hiccups, I echo you, Britishly Bitchin' Like Emma. This one's so well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like this one and X2 are like my two favorites.
Yeah, they're the best,
Yeah.
definitely. And they're both the second one in their trilogy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this one's technically not a trilogy because they came out with Dark Phoenix. Oh. Who would you say is the MXP?
I thought First Class was like Magneto's story, since it kind of was Magneto origins. I feel like this story is the Charles Xavier story. It's really him coming to his arc of being very lost, very much a junkie, and trying to like put his past behind him and like wallow in his depression into finding himself again and knowing that what he's fighting for is valid and that he can still make a difference. He had that heart to heart with himself from the future, which is super beautiful. So I'm going to give it to Charles this one.
Wow. Okay. I gave it to Mystique, and the reason is like I didn't notice it as much until like I feel like I look at these movies with a more critical eye when I get them ready for the podcast. So it never really dawned on me that this is really like Mystique being set free with the teachings of Eric and Charles, and getting to see like her find herself in the world, and like getting to see her through Charles. You're right, but through Charles, she makes the right decision and does what's right and what's good. So I see this as like Mystique's movie, with Charles as like a very big contender for his movie.
I feel like Mystique is like the underlying factor from First Class and this movie, because her movie, because I feel like that one was Magneto's movie, this one is Charles' movie, but Mystique is the key in both movies. So her kind of her art goes through them all, and so she's a really big part and a really pivotal part in all of that. So
yeah. What would you say is the X factor?
This is so hard because like it's everything. Like it's very much like from the show. Like I feel like the whole time travel element of the show and the parts that were taken from the comic books and the Terminators and the influences, I feel like that's all like full circle. Like we're coming back to this arc that people really like and see it in a new way. So I'm going to give it just the whole time travel aspect and saving the future for both mutants and humans.
Nice. The thing that hits me the most in this movie, because I do love the time travel and how they did it. They did it very well. They respected the original story well too. But this whole idea of, I guess you'd call it maybe self-loathing or like not accepting yourself.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting because even like in my life, I'm probably speaking only for myself, or I don't know if other people have felt this way ever, but there's been times where I've looked at like, God, if only like I were a straight couple, I could have that whole like life of going to dinner with my parents, with my partner. Like I could just have a life where it's not as much of a struggle. And like, luckily I never gave in to those feelings, because over time I've made the life I want around me, and my parents have come around to accepting me in the life that I am because they love me. So I think it's a good representation, especially Charles, of seeing that played out. Like, he just wants a normal life. He doesn't want what's been given to him. But when we see what he does with that life, like he changes everyone around him for the better by accepting himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So that's strong.
Yes. Going back with my MXP. See, it's good.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should have chosen Charles.
Well, it's cool. No, it's cool because you get to showcase both options in each thing. So you get the whole gamut of the movie that way. So you're good.
Yeah. All right. So previously on, so I told you to put 2 of these in your back pocket because we're asking who had the saddest death scene: Iceman, Sunspot, Storm, or Blink. So for Sunspot, we haven't really talked about him. He basically got like his arm cut off and then he was stabbed. Like his was pretty hard. And Blink like got stabbed from multiple directions at once.
Yeah, she died twice in this movie.
Yeah.
Each time she just got stabbed though.
Yeah.
She's always stabbed. We didn't mention Bishop's blowing up. He blew up from all the overload of power.
I know. And like Colossus got ripped in half, but I can only do 4. So
I know. But for me, it's Iceman. That's the saddest death.
Yeah.
Both times he died were pretty brutal, and sad. Because the first time we had his head come off and then smashed, like brutal. Second time he's being burned by a bunch of Sentinels while Rogue watches and cries out his name. Iceman.
I know. He basically gets like the Mortal Kombat like fatality deaths. Like his are very brutal.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine is Iceman also. All right, cool. We are going to continue on this uphill trend next week because we are talking about Deadpool, bitch.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be an adventure. Finally, we're going to have a character that's like on our level of crazy humor and psychoticism. So it can be a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. All right. Until then, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on my personal Instagram, KJEEZY87, or follow the other podcast that we're kind of on a break on right now, Words of the Witches. We cover the comic books and novels. We're making some really great headway on that musical. Oh my gosh,
I'm so excited.
It's so good. I had a meeting today. I heard a new song and I'm crying. It's like a pivotal moment where all 4 sisters sing about their mom and tears.
Aww.
It's coming together. All I have to do is write the last ending and the script is done. So it's so good. I can't wait.
Nice.
And if you want to audition, we're casting.
Okay. And you can find me on Shawn Perrette on Instagram. That'll link you to my other old podcasts, my book, any of my products. So yeah, find us, love us, be one with us, vote with us.
Join us.
Join us. All right, thank you for listening, Sexy Exes. We'll be back next week with Deadpoolio.
Deadpoolio.
Oh my god, I haven't been recording this whole time.